go. Here we 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 go.
Here we go. Welcome back to Salute, as we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform. I am, of course, Joe Ugly.
I'm Shakiria.
We're in a new studio, and I'm going to let you tell them what to do.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, check us out on Fanbase and show us some love.
Hit that heart.
There you go. All right, so there's a lot going on in the world as we know it. Only,
Woo!
a month and some days in?
Woo! I don't even think we hit 45 days yet.
No, we haven't.
And we're getting more than 45 presidents. Bring it.
It's too much, but that's what we're here to do. We're going to break down and kind of decipher all the stuff that's coming, particularly that's going to affect veterans, obviously. So I want to start by saying, veterans, it is important for us to speak up for the things that we value the most, which is veteran health care, the benefits and all that stuff that comes with it. But in doing that, that requires, if there's protests in your area, you have to go out to those protests. If your senator or congressperson is hosting like a town hall meeting, you should go to those to voice your opinion on why your benefits matter. Because right now, on top of everything they're affecting, veteran benefits is what's looking like it's coming next.
Oh, it's definitely coming. It's part of the avalanche.
Yeah.
No question.
And one of the things that they're doing is creating a bill that is, it sounds good because it's called the Veteran Access Bill. And that's Access Act, right? It sounds like, oh, that's, good. We're going to do, it's not. Deep within the bill is things that are pretty much planned to gut the VA as we know it.
Right.
And it's to change it into an insurance company. That's the plan. Which is what we highlighted prior, when we talked about Project 2025.
Right.
So it's not like they lied. They really meant it. And it is happening.
Well, no, a little pushback. They did lie because they said, I don't know what Project 25 is.
Well, Trump said that. Yeah.
And they were like, we're not going to, no, even Republican leaders were actually saying, we're not going to operate on Project 25. That was the promise to us.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Okay,
You're right.
so now that they got in office, it's almost like they have a plan not to ever leave office.
No.
So they don't care what the voters say now.
Exactly.
So we have to show them that I don't care what your plan is, that's not our system.
Right.
And every plan can be changed.
It is. America is not a monarch.
No, it's not. So if you want to run, you think you have this grand plan and you're going to dismantle government as we know it.
Right.
Just know your plan could be dismantled as well.
And it should be.
And it should be, especially when we see what's going on. Back to what you were saying about veterans, please pay attention.
Yes.
Especially when you hear there's a town hall which your political leaders, so-called leaders, or whatever you want to call them.
Democrat or Republican.
Democrat or Republican. We're not sitting here and saying, oh, you have to go directly with whomever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whatever town hall you hear that's going on, get there and voice your opinion on what you see or what you have been informed on in regarding veterans issues.
Right.
Not just benefits, but issues.
Issues. I want to explain a little bit more what this veteran access bill consists of. Like I said, it's pretty much eventually to turn it into an insurance company. So right now, if you use the VA like we use it, you can go physically within the VA hospital, or they'll send you out into what they call care in the community, right? So the community is outpatient clinics that the VA then pays to give you care that they can't provide, or they're already short-staffed, so they send you out. So what this bill is pretty much proposing is send you out all the time into the community.
So in other words, privatize the VA.
Exactly. And I know some people say, well, I see some discourse on, well, I like the outpatient clinics anyways. It's better. If you keep using those outpatient clinics over the VA, there's no need for the VA. Does that make sense?
And not only that, with the VA, I think you have more accountability. As a veteran, you can complain about, you can't collectively complain about this facility or this, what the service that you're getting from a certain facility.
Right.
And that has to be addressed. When it goes into private sector, you complaining, you're just in the echo chamber of civilians and everybody else.
Yeah, and
So
when you do complain for those private outpatient clinics, what the VA will simply do is probably just cancel it.
Right.
Cancel their contract, and then you don't have that or anything to go to.
And again, I ask, what are the chances of them canceling that contract, seeing it might be the only? Keep in mind, a lot of private hospitals will shut down, especially in rural America.
That was my next point.
So you might have to go now, okay, where you could have got to the VA that's maybe about like maximum 10, 15 miles. You might now have to go 40, 50 miles, 60 miles, even 100 miles. When you get into rural America, and you have the right to live in rural America, that's your right in this country. So if you chose to live out there, you should still have access to where because you're paying taxes at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so you should have access to government services.
Yes, you should. It's actually, I mean, it's not surprising, but here we are at the forefront of it, and it is up to the veterans, obviously the Congress people and everyone that's elected to fight and prevent for this to happen. It has not occurred yet, but the VA is urging us to understand, at least not the VA, Congress people like Senator Blumenthal and those that work personally in the veterans affairs want us to know this is where you start protesting. Go to those town halls. Raise it to your director in the VA. Go to the complaint center in the VA and just keep pushing on this, because the more we push back, the less they'll make these changes.
I am currently channeling the 80s Beastie Boys paraphrase. You have a right to fight for your VA.
The VA isn't already in desperate need of expansion. I remember last year we talked about how they needed to expand their budget to fit the 400,000 plus veterans that came in with the PACT Act. Now, if you start shrinking the VA and parts of it, what happens to those people? And the thousands of other veterans coming in every single year.
Let's do some simple math. If you're going to shrink the VA, all the numbers of veterans, the amount of veterans that are getting service there,
right?
You're not going to take that and pile it into civilian facilities, if you may. What's going to happen? You're now adding on to the workforce or the workload of private facilities.
Yep.
So what kind of service do you think you're going to get? You bring in all these veterans and piling them onto private. So it's not like if you're going out, few of you are going into private services, right. Getting community services. No, you're talking about everyone going over there now. What kind of service do you think you're going to get?
Yep. I would like to add that the VA exists because there's a certain type of treatment and care that veterans need, because obviously everything that veterans go through, but people understand that. When you go to the civilian sector with civilians and veterans, do you think they're going to prioritize you over other? Because they're going to see you guys as one.
Correct.
Just patients coming in. Whereas the VA will pay.
What was that I just said? They're going to see you as one. Do I hear a touch of...
You don't get that special I'm a veteran tag out there because they don't care.
No DEI for veterans?
No.
That's my point.
DEI for veterans. And veterans, if you didn't know, you do fall under that category, DEI.
DEI
if you want to fight against
is
that too.
not just black.
Yeah. Those corporations didn't hire you because they like you.
That's right.
They were forced to.
They were forced to.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite sure 5 weeks in, you're aware. You're aware now. If you're not, hold on, it's coming. It's coming. That train is right down the tracks.
Oh my God. But yeah, just show up for yourself and for your fellow veterans if you care about these benefits. And there's no more to it than that. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
All right, let's roll into formation.
Fall in.
All right, so the VA is offering grants for funding for home modification. For those who didn't know that, the VA is pushing this information out because veterans are not taking advantage of these grants that they have. So the grant could go up to $117,000. You can use it 6 times over your lifetime. You don't get $117,000 6 times. You just get to use it in increments.
Up to $117,000.
Right.
So if you need a ramp, costs $5,000. Bam.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Need a wider door.
Right.
3,000, bam.
Exactly.
And it adds up.
And it adds up. Or those,
over
what's
your
that
lifetime.
little one that goes up the stairs?
Or the little chairlift.
Yeah, the chairlift. If you have stairs and you need to go up, those are the things.
Right.
And
what about an elevator in the home?
If it's under 117,000.
Ooh.
And it connects to your service. It's service connected, so you have to have that.
Right.
Let me actually go over the requirements.
Can't have eye problems and run up in an elevator in your home now. No. Come on.
Actually,
then again, you never know. You don't want to trip.
one of the requirements, so the eligibilities for this grant is you could be blind, but you have to be blind in both eyes. You'd be missing a limb, upper, lower, wherever you're missing a limb. Severe burns.
Excuse me. I misspoke. Something could be wrong with your eyes.
Well, if you're blind, how are you going to get around?
There you go.
You need stuff in your house.
This is why we do this. I'm just voicing what I think someone else would say, and you corrected it.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
100. Go.
All right. So like I said, you could be blind. If you are blind, and obviously it's service connected. If you are and you're not service connected, go to your VA. Obviously, there's a problem there. You're missing limbs, upper, lower, one or more. The more money you get. If you have certain respiratory issues or severe burns, they will provide these assistance for you, your family members, caregivers, up to this. And the VA form you need to use to apply for this is 26-4555. And of course, as always, we'll have all that stuff linked below.
There you go.
Also, I forgot. You must or intend to own a home. You can't do this if you rent or whatever it is, obviously.
Come on,
landlord. I need to be specific because, people will glass over, I get 100 and what? And then just run about it. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
They just hear the money. And I want you to understand there's requirements. And one of them is
you ready to take away the fun from all of this?
You must own a home or intend on getting a home.
Okay.
Yes. They also do these
fair.
for vehicles as well.
There's what?
They also do this for vehicles.
Okay.
So that's also a thing. They'll buy you a vehicle or redo the car so for your needs.
Right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
All right. All that will be linked below the form, all the information for you to please, even though we provide this information, double check and read the extra requirements that the VA has as well.
What she said.
All right, let's roll into hot topics. Today's hot topic is the VA crisis line employees are fired in federal workforce purge. If you're not tracking what the federal...
That's a heavy.
Yeah.
That's a
lot.
Oh, no, they're coming back. There's been a lot of firing and hiring back.
Over 1,000 people. They have already, they have already tried to reinstate some of the people they fired.
They have to because come on.
It's just crisis line. Are you kidding?
The crisis line of all things. This thing
This makes no sense.
It's really been a great asset to veterans and to even interrupt it, let alone try to dilute it or not even dilute, to take it away. Let's get to the point.
Of all the things in the VA, look, I understand we all agree, obviously, that there's things in the VA that needs to be changed. I don't think anyone will agree that we need to take away crisis line employees. If anything, we would say we need more crisis line employees. So I don't see how that could be a part of the purge that's necessary to save money. But I will add that onto this, because of the crisis line people being fired and the VA as a whole, people have been experiencing appointment cancellations. So it's already starting with the issues, right?
Show up to the next town hall. I don't care what party affiliation you're with. You need answers.
Yes, you do.
Our elected officials need to know that you have a right, and you are not going to give up that right just because the wind blew.
No, you don't. You served your country.
You served your country.
Whether it's 4 years or 20 plus years.
It don't make a difference. You served your country. Mm-hmm. Whether it was peacetime, wartime, it don't make a difference.
Right.
I stand strong with those of peacetime because if peacetime, if you weren't there.
Oh my God.
Well, we'll be speaking Russian right now.
Anyways.
It was peacetime because you were there.
That's true.
It's that simple.
I would also like to add on to this unfortunate purge that our new secretary, Doug Collins, who's a veteran himself, is saying this is a good move because it'll save us $98 million.
You can't put a price tag on people's health like that, especially a mental health. You cannot run around and start slashing because, it's going to save for the...
Right.
That's what people without mental, who don't have... We all have mental issues, by the way. So people who don't have it bubbling on top, that's their mentality, okay? But for people who are dealing with different PTSD, especially that is military connected, you just don't blow that away. You just don't say, screw that, forget about that. You served your country. Yes. You can't run around putting a price tag on that. No, absolutely not.
I guess it is.
It's really, every time I hear a veteran say, I voted for that guy, I can't believe it. I'm like, where were you when the election was going? I recently saw something where someone was at a rally.
Okay.
And was asked, multiple different people were asked, what does DEI, what does it stand for? And none of them, those who were shown, did not know what it stood for.
Yep. They know it was.
And if you knew what it stood for, please help me understand why you have a problem with diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. Help me understand, why is that a problem? If you understood, if you knew what DEI meant.
I think the problem with DEI is a lot of people, based on how one party has generalized it,
right.
I think a lot of them think it meant one particular group of people.
Of course.
People that look like us.
It's just like
But still remains the question, what do you have with that?
Exactly. It reminds me of when people used to yell, when Reagan used to run around with the term welfare queen.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, there were more whites on welfare than there were blacks.
Yep.
And these numbers are out there.
You can look it up.
You can look it up. But it's so easy. I did some research and realized that, I did some research on this DEI thing of who benefited the most. And at the top of the list were white women. After that were Latinos, which white-leaning. After that, Asians, Native Americans, LGBTQ. You know who at the bottom of the list? Blacks.
Don't tell me.
We were below.
That is crazy.
We were below veterans. We were below disability. We were at the bottom of the list.
I'm sorry. Wait. You said disabled, and I have to bring up the fact that, what's his name? Greg Abbott, governor of Texas. If you don't know him, it's a governor that is in a wheelchair, has banned DEI. Mind you, he probably only got the job because of DEI. Oh, Jesus.
So be it.
Anyways, the point of today is, and it probably will continue for the next 4 years, is to push this information out to you in small little bits so you can digest it and not go insane. And clearly we don't have crisis members for that, so we don't want to overwhelm you.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And if you're not a veteran and you know someone who's a veteran, father, mother, aunt, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, knowing someone who's a veteran, let them know about what we do.
Yep.
We inform veterans.
Yes.
All the time. time, all day, every day.
Veterans and their family members and their caregivers, everybody that cares about veterans and respect veterans and think they deserve all these benefits that we currently have.
Also, if you have a family member or know someone who is currently serving, they're going to be a veteran.
One day or another.
You may want to link them to what we're doing,
Yep.
so they can be prepared for when they become veterans.
Yes, and it is a process.
That's right.
Just like it's a process to get in.
As I stated at the top, we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, check us out on Fanbase and show us some love.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Here we go! 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 Here we go!